Do 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 do. Good evenings, ladies and gentlemen. Good evenings. How is everyone's? Hope everyone's is doing good. Everyone's is doing good. 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow me to grace your screen for any amount of time, greatly appreciated. More than I can verbally express. I'm feeling good. The Raiders lost. That doesn't mean that's not why I'm feeling good. So please don't take it that way. I'm feeling good, feeling great. Maybe I had too many beers. I don't know. For whatever reason. 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow us to grace your screen for any amount of time, once again, is greatly appreciated. And on with the intro.
Vegas, a city built on bright lights, big bets, and legends. But under the glow of Allegiant Stadium, there's a different kind of energy. A darker one, a louder one, a force that doesn't just show up, it takes over. This is Raider Nation. Born in Oakland, forged in LA, reborn in Vegas. A legacy carried by the bold, the ruthless, the ones who never back down.
We want to beat the NFL and the refs. That's what
there you go. Yes, the refs definitely.
Silver and black. The colors don't just represent
we're
a
Raider
team.
fans.
They
Okay, this is what
represent
it's all about.
talent.
Well, that's why they won't
A
let me into
warning.
Kansas City, because I can take the shit off in Kansas City.
Every Sunday, the desert doesn't just shake, it erupts. The crowd doesn't just rise, it roars. The shield doesn't just shine, it intimidates. And the nation reminds the world why the Raiders aren't just a franchise. They're a problem for anybody standing on the other sideline. This is a culture built on hits that echo, plays that break wills, and moments that turn doubters into believers. Commitment to excellence isn't a slogan, it's a battle cry. And if you're not ready for it, you get left behind. And right in the heart of that chaos sits the Silver and Black Lounge. A spot built for the real ones, the diehards, the lifers, the ones who show up early, stay late, and rep the shield like armor. In the lounge, you don't just talk Raiders, you live Raiders. And now, you're stepping into Dirty's world, a place built for the diehards, the real ones, the ones who bleed
at the
silver
40-yard line, and
and black.
O'Connell wants to take a deep shot.
Here,
and he's
we break down the plays, the legends, the rivalries, and the future of the team that refuses to fade, refuses to fold, and refuses to apologize for being dangerous. So lock in, stand tall, and rep the shield with pride. Because around here, we don't just support the Raiders. We ride with the Raiders. We fight with the Raiders. We are the Raiders. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the nation. Let's get into it.
And we are back. We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. My brother Benta's in the building. What's good with you, Ben?
Saludos. What up with you,
What's
brother?
good, man?
Smoke
Hey, look,
Reggie.
man. Great
Smoke
play-by-play today, man. Great play-by-play today.
Brother, thank you, man.
Yes.
My pleasure, man. You feel me? It's the least I can do, brother. It's the least I can do.
Yeah.
At their entertainment at its finest, bro. That's what we focus on.
For sure. Before we get into the show, man, I got something to make everybody laugh, man. Before we jump into the show, I'm gonna hit everybody off with something to make them laugh, man. We need something to make us laugh at this point in time, man. You know what I mean? So here y'all go, man. Point of view of when he walked into a gay bar at one point in time, it was all Niner fans. Fuck. That shit's funny to me, man. That shit's funny to me. But let's get into it, man. Let's get straight into it. Actually, I came dressed like a coach today because I gotta bring my coaching shit today, man. I had to
Type shit.
had to get on my coaching game today, man. So brought my coach's outfit out. You know what I mean? This Coach Parker right here. When you see me in this Coach Parker right here. You know, Raiders lost. And they didn't just lose the game. They lost a player. You know what I mean? They lost a player. Don't know for how long. I'm not 100% sure. But we lost a rookie. Somebody we drafted. Somebody that a lot of people had high hopes for. What up, Nate? Nate in the building. What's good with your mind? Did you catch the game?
Yeah.
I saw you in the chat. But yeah, brother. I feel you, man.
I'm watching it again, actually, here and there.
Man, I feel you, brother. Let's see who's all in the chat, man. I see we got some people in the building, man. Raider Ray.
Shout out to the chat, man. World's most dangerous chat. Saludos.
Alfredo, what's good with your mind? Blessings to you. James Purple in the building. What it do, Furp? John Raider, my guy. What's good with you? Rose Town in the building. Blessings to you. What it do, Nightbot? Blessings to you as well.
Nightbot.
You know what I mean? The bot. Gorillas Fan Club. Yo, what it do? Whoever this guy is, the shit I can't read. Blessings to you, man. Thanks for pulling up. I really can't. I really can't read that shit. Yeah. So with that being said, for all those who are not typing in the chat, blessings to you. Blessings to you. I was not impressed today, man. I'm gonna just be straightforward and honest about that. I was not impressed today, man. I felt like we could have done so much more. We should have done so much more. Getting down there and just kicking field goals, that shit is the most annoying thing. I mean, that's the same shit we was doing last year. I don't see no difference. I see zero difference. My only highlight was I like the scheme call in the first quarter. After the first quarter, I mean, the scheme might be nice, but the talent level, it just ain't there. It's just not there. So tonight we're gonna talk about the quarterback battle, which is really not a battle. Sorry, Mendoza's just not ready. It is what it is. You can hate me, you can love me.
I hate you. God damn it.
I understand. We're gonna talk about it tonight. I'm gonna prove a point. Y'all gonna see what I see. You're gonna see what I've been saying. Right? We got that. Then you got the running back battle, which is really not a battle either. We know Ashton Genty is going to be the starting running back once he comes back, but for the time being, we have Mike Washington, and Mike Washington seems to be a really good running back. As it stands, he's averaging 8 yards per carry throughout the preseason. You know what I mean? Throughout the preseason. So he said, Willie Wayne said sprained ankle. Okay. All right. You sure it's not a knee? You sure
right?
it's not a knee?
Are we sure?
Positive, because he might have been holding his ankle, but tomorrow we're going to get a knee. You know what I mean? You know, because Jitsi held a knee, and the next day it was an ankle. So we gotta figure out if it's actually an ankle or if it's a knee. You know what I mean? It might be an elbow. It might be an elbow. You know how people be fucking shit up. It might be his elbow that's messed up. And if it's just his elbow, he can play through that.
From what I heard, it's looking more like a oh, you guys are talking about Crawford? Is that who you guys are talking about? Okay, yeah. I don't really know too much about Crawford's injury, so I'm not going to speak on it. It didn't look good though, because he got carted off the fucking field. So well, not carted off the field, but he was carted off the sideline. So regardless, still not.
He had his cleat off.
He'll be all right.
Okay.
He's taking some mental.
I mean, you take your cleat
He's
off.
taking some mental reps.
your cleat can come off for a bunch of reasons. You know what I mean? It's not always going to be an ankle.
He said he's taking mental reps.
Whatever it is, they probably took it off because it caused some inflammation in his foot and it started to swell. So I mean that could be anything. He could have broke a bone in his foot or something. Who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we will find out tomorrow exactly what took place and what happened with him. He stubbed his toe. That's a possibility. He stubbed his toe. Naylor's one-handed grab was nice. Yes, it was. It was very nice. We're going to talk about the wide receivers as well. Benson actually caught something today. It wasn't in bounds, but he did get a flag and a first down for it. So shouts out to him for doing something.
He still ain't getting no grace from me.
He ain't getting no grace from nobody. But I mean, he finally did. He finally did do something today. He got a flag. You know what I mean? He got a penalty called on a defender that was trying to hold him down. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like this game was not supposed to go the way it went, man.
Sloppy.
This game was not supposed to go the way it went. Our starting offense looks somewhat halfway decent. That's no cap, man. I'm not capping with that. I feel like our offense looks much better than it did last year. It looks like it's able to actually move the ball. But one of the things we couldn't do last year was give our defense time to rest. We were not giving our defense any time to rest. We were 3 and out all day, every day.
Offensive line was terrible. That second group of linemen was fucking terrible, dude.
The second wave of the offensive line was not very good. The third wave sucked. The first wave is okay. The first wave is better than the team we had last year. I guarantee you that. I watched. Our first string offensive line is much better than our offensive line that we had last year. Our first string offensive line last year is our third and fourth string line this year. A couple of those players are third, like you saw Glaze. Glaze wasn't in with the first. He wasn't in with the first team. If you guys did not notice, DJ Glaze was not in with the first team. He came in with the third team and played left tackle.
The first series? Yeah, Glaze was, yeah.
Huh?
He had all the starters on the first series.
Where was he? I didn't see him.
No, Glaze did start. He did run with the ones.
Wait, I didn't see him.
Yeah, he started with the ones.
The second series.
The starting line was fucking Colton Miller, Spencer Burford, Tyler Linderbaum, JPJ, and DJ Grace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all played.
He can't play the left side.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If we just want to like just go off last year, bro, this offensive line's gonna open up holes, bro. Like, I get that was the backups, right? But bro, that's been all preseason, bro. They've just been opening up gaping holes for this running game, bro. I'm so excited. And dude, when Mike Washington hits that hole, bro, like, is it just me? Like, you guys can agree with me or not. Dude, he gives me like that electric vibe, like, oh my God, here we go. Like, he's about to get on his fucking horse and go, bro. And like almost every single run was like that tonight, bro. Like, it was he's got them electrifying runs. Like I say, he reminds me a lot of Darren McFadden in the way that I feel like he's just a home run. As soon as he touches the ball, bro, he's a home run. You know, it just all really depends if he gets tracked down. We've seen him get tracked down. But he's just a home run waiting to happen, dude. He's such an electrifying runner, dude. I love him.
Yeah,
if he works on his speed, he's a home run waiting to happen. That's his only thing. Like, he can get to the second and third level. The problem is he gets caught. But, you know, as long as you're getting first downs and you moving the ball, I don't really give a shit if you get hawked down or not. Well, I do, especially if you open field and you can get a touchdown and then you get caught. Like, that's a fucking problem to me, because that's points not being put on the board, and then we end up having to kick a field goal because you got hawked down and we couldn't do anything else. So, I mean, in essence, I would love for him to be able to just go and nobody catch him. But every big run that I've seen him have, he's gotten hawked. So that's something that concerns me. Now, the 8 yards per carry, that's cool. I love it. I like it. You know what I mean? You do it on first down and you get 8 yards, 2nd and 2. When you're in 2nd and 2, there's no reason for you not to get a first down. There's no reason for you not to convert, right? So, yeah, Mike Washington. I mean, we already know who our running backs are going to be. Our top 2, right? We have Genty and we have Mike Washington, right? Now let's get into the conversation because I don't even want to waste my time with quarterbacks. We know what it is. It is what it is. It's gonna be that way. I'm not about to get into no arguments with people about the shit. It is what it is. Let's look at some other key factors of this team. Running back. So we got Jensen and Washington. We got Genty and Washington, right? Who did enough tonight to show they are 3 and 4? Because we're not keeping 5. We may keep 4 at the most. We definitely ain't keeping 5 running backs. So who y'all got? Who y'all got as 3 and 4?
I got Roman Hemby. I think Roman Hemby did enough to at least make the roster. I think he's probably going to be 4, but I don't know, bro. That third, I think, is probably going to be won by default by Dylan Laube, unfortunately. So that's just my take on the running back.
I don't think Hemby did shit. I don't know what game you saw, but I don't know.
I don't know. I thought Hemby ran hard tonight, bro.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be. I hate to say it. I think it's going to be Dylan Laube and OG. I think OG ran really hard today.
Yeah, they're going to go with the vet.
He's had more productive runs than Hemby. Hemby has been more of a catching back out the backfield. So really, like, being a running back, I feel like if they wanted to use him at like wide receiver or something, maybe that might be the case. I didn't see him with any returns. I didn't see him with any returns. So did he even line up and kickoff return?
Wendy?
Lobby?
Yeah, not Lobby, Hemby.
I think Hemby did return the kick like late in the game.
Opening kickoff, but they kicked it out of bounds.
Was he? Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see him get the ball on kickoff return. Now he might have been on the field, but I don't think they kicked it to him. So he said, Raider Ray says, but since we should sit Mendoza for a year, Hemby is irrelevant. Unfortunately, Hemby was irrelevant from the get-go. He was a UDFA. All UDFAs are irrelevant until they prove that they are worth more. And I can't say, you know what I mean, that I feel like he proved anything to me. Just being honest. I feel like the other running backs ahead of him are ahead of him for good reasons. They're all stronger, faster, more productive. And that's just my take. You know what I mean? That's just my take. I'm not saying that the kid don't deserve a chance to be in the NFL. I just don't see him making our roster as a running back. If he makes our roster as a running back, it will be on the practice squad. because he's going to clear waivers. I don't think he's done enough on film to show other teams that he's worthy of them bringing him in. So I feel like he will clear waivers. And yeah. You guys, you think he's going to make the team, though, Ben? You actually think he's going to make the team?
The 53?
Yeah.
Who, Himby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Himby's going to find a way to make the team, bro. I think even if it's the third back, I don't know, bro. I'm not right now. I don't know if Ashton Genty's going to be there. So if Ashton Genty's, unavailable week 1. I think the backs will probably be Mike Washington, Dylan Laube, and then Roman Himby. The only thing that could come into consideration is that Ogunlawari or the running back Dyer Ogunlawabe or whatever. He's like, he's a veteran running back. So I mean, the coaching staff might want to keep him around just because he's a veteran. But outside of that, I don't know. I think Roman Himby has played extremely well this preseason. So. Worst case, I think he's going to get stashed on the practice squad, but no, I think he finds a way to make the roster.
Yeah, I feel like he's stashed on the. I think he gets stashed on the practice squad. I just don't see. I don't see where they really make space for him. He's not on the kickoff team, is he? I didn't see him on the kickoff team. Maybe on the kickoff return team, third string. But even if you're a kickoff return team, third string, I mean, how many strings of kickoff returns do we need? Should only need one. You know what I mean? Should only need one. So I just don't see where there's a place for him. With all the other talent that we have, I just don't see where there's a place for him outside of the practice squad.
And then what also could play a factor is that we have a lot of DBs too. You know what I mean? Like, I know the Raiders are going to want to keep a lot of these corners. A lot of our corners are young. So if we keep a lot of these corners, it's probably going to, hamper, if we keep Himby or not.
Himby had to separate himself on special teams, and I don't think he did that at all.
Your mic sounds really low, Nutty Ray. I can barely hear
I was getting ready to say the same thing.
Oh, shit. You know what? I'll come right back. Hold on.
No doubt.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. At the end of the day, guys, I like what I saw tonight. I'm not upset about the pick. It sucks. But it's a learning experience with Fernando. I didn't expect him to come out and be perfect. I think the Raiders are giving him the short end of the stick by not letting him get any runs with the starters. And expecting him to go out there and have success. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. He threw the interception. I'm not going to make any excuses for the kid. But, at the end of the day, I think he'll learn from it. And I think that's really what it really comes down to, is these are learning moments for Fernando. So what up, Frank the Tank? What up, J Money?
Yeah, I mean, it's their learning moments, but here's the thing. You out there throwing interceptions like Geno Smith right now. You out there, you threw a pick 6 last week. Your first fucking pass of the game, you throw a fucking pick. You throw it right over the dude's head. And you overthrowing people all fucking night. You getting people set up to take. You got Mike Washington set up with a fucking rib shot.
Yeah, that was a bad throw. I think that wasn't that Kirk. I think that was Kirk Cousins that threw that rib shot, though. That wasn't Fernando.
No, that was Fernando. Fernando did it too. Kirk did it once. Kirk did do it once, but Fernando did it too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Hey, John Rader, man, I'm not gonna have a conversation about Ty Simpson. I already said my piece about that, and people jumped on me and ragged on me and told me I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. But that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine. But he is balling. He is balling. But he's on the Rams. And the Rams have an offensive front line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
they have a coach that's been there for years and is established there and knows how to get the best out of people and to win. We just got our coach. They been had their coach over there. He seasoned that head coach, so he gonna do what he do. And y'all saw what he did when they drafted Ty Simpson. He was like, man, I don't fucking want him. He lit a fire under Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson came in, was like, oh, you don't want me? I'm gonna make you want me. I'm gonna make you love me. You gonna love me. What movie was that? He said, I'm gonna make you love me. You gonna love me. But this was my whole reason for not wanting to draft Mendoza. It was never the fact that I thought he was trash. It was never the fact that I thought he wasn't any good. It's always been the fact that there's no reason to waste the number 1 overall pick if you have no intention on developing him in his first year or playing him in his first year. What is the point? That is a waste. That's a wasted pick. You could have did that. You could have did that down the line. You could have used that first pick to actually address a need that could actually get on the field and make a difference. So now I'm pissed at the front office because you had really no plans on really developing him in the preseason or giving him a legitimate chance to fucking go out there and be a starter because you're going to stick to what you always said you were going to do. Sit him for the year and let him learn. That's a wasted fucking pick. Because what if he never learns? Then what? You got a Ryan Leaf on your hands. You got a Jamarcus Russell on your hands. Whatever other badass quarterback you can cut, but Blake Bortles on your hands. So, but that's just.
All I know is if Fernando Mendoza turns into Blake Bortles, bro, that'd be some Raiders shit. I think Fernando Mendoza is going to be good for us, but only time will tell. So,
I'm just saying, like that's a waste. That's a real waste. And people think it's that I'm hating on Mendoza. I'm not hating on Mendoza. I'm hating on the fact that we're being wasteful. This is some old school dumb ass bullshit that Raiders used to do. Waste draft picks. I thought we were supposed to be getting out of that. And a number 1 overall, you know how much capital you gave up by holding on to the pick? You know how many more picks you could have had for teams who were desperate to probably come up and get him and would do right by him? You're not doing right by a number 1 overall pick if you don't play him. You ain't doing right by a number 1 pick if you don't put no true protection up front to block for him all day, every day. So I'm just saying, Raider Ray said who we picked in at 1 dirty. We don't pick nobody at 1.
Straight out of it.
Out of the number 1 overall, we move down. You pick up a lineman or a wide receiver. You got a Kirk Cousins who you believe in, and you're gonna let him play. So why not give him a number 1 wide receiver to throw to? And then after that, you know what I mean? You could have picked up a Ty Simpson later in the round. And I wouldn't be so upset because at least you would have had 2 first-round picks. You would have got a wide receiver for the quarterback that you have now. You have your other quarterback that you're going to sit for a year, but he still has the ability and the opportunity to build chemistry with this number 1 overall wide receiver that you picked this year. Right? And then you pick up an extra pick in the 2nd round. So now maybe you address your defensive back in the 2nd round and maybe an offensive lineman. A higher value, more worthy offensive lineman or defensive nose tackle You could have got 2 players in the first, 2 players in the second.
I don't know. The thing is like, was there a team willing to come up and trade for Fernando? Like that's another question to be had.
Yes,
I don't know if there was.
The Jets would have did it. The Cardinals would have did it. The Jets would have did it. The Cardinals would have did it. I think the Cleveland Browns would have did it. They had 3 picks in it. You know what I mean? They had 3 picks. And you remember we were doing drafts. We were doing mock drafts. Every time I went and saw offers, who was the team up there making an offer? Cleveland. Cleveland was the team up there making an offer. So
the Jets, I think, want to try to get a quarterback this year. I think this is the year they're trying to get a quarterback.
Who knows what they would have tried to get? And that's what I'm saying. What I told y'all, there was a strong possibility that you could have traded back and still ended up with Mendoza. It still ended up with Mendoza.
Think so?
Yeah, I firmly believe you could have traded back and still ended up with Mendoza. I honestly believe that.
No.
Or, Arizona. He may have went to Arizona. But there was still another quarterback in the draft that could be drafted and could sit on the bench and learn. And you would have got him later, and you would have got him cheaper. Now you're paying Fernando Mendoza all this money to sit on the bench to hold a fucking clipboard.
Oh.
Ain't nobody thinking about that.
Type shit.
You just gave him all this money to sit and hold a clipboard and walk around with a headset. That makes no sense at all, man. Literally no sense at all. And that's why I'm pissed off. It's not that I don't think Mendoza is good. I just don't like how he's being treated. I can't stand how he's being treated. This is not what you do to a number 1 overall pick. This is not what you do to a fan base that watched you pick him number 1 overall.
Shout out Jerry, bro. Shit, you mean.
You picked him number 1 overall so we could pick number 1 overall again next year? I don't like having the number 1 pick unless I'm going to trade it. But when you have the number 1 pick, that means you are the sorriest fucking team in the fucking division or in the fucking league, period. You are the worst fucking team in the NFL.
No, I feel you.
I don't want to be that. This is the first time in a very long time that we've been the worst team in the NFL. We've been bad, but we ain't been this bad. No, Raider Paul, I didn't just notice.
The last time we were this bad, we had Jamarcus Russell.
I'm finally giving the real 100% reason as to why everybody thinks that I'm hating on Mendoza. I'm not hating on Mendoza. I'm telling y'all, the way that he's being treated is bullshit. The way that we wasted a number 1 overall pick is bullshit, and I don't want him on the fucking field. Go sit down. Go sit down, just like they said they was going to do you all year. Go sit your ass down, man.
I think Fernando's going to be all right, bro. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't an overnight, process with Mendoza. When Mendoza was drafted, there was, a long-term plan put in place. And I get it. There's a lot of Raider fans that aren't patient. You feel me? And I get it. Like, I hate being patient too. I've been a fan for 20 years, 21 years, like my 21st season being a fan. I ain't never seen shit. This team's done nothing but let me down for 20 years. You feel me? I've been patient for 20 years. I'm willing to be patient for a few more years if I see a vision. I see a vision now. But I understand it from both sides of the fence in terms of some people that don't want to be patient anymore. I get it. I don't really want to be patient neither. But at the end of the day, I have no control over what this organization does. And this organization has showed me with the drafting of Fernando Mendoza, that this is not a today plan. This is a tomorrow plan. And it's either you're going to get with the program, unfortunately, or you're just going to be pissed off at the results, because I'm not expecting results right now. And I feel like if you go in this bitch expecting results right now, you're probably going to be in for a long season. So, like I said, I get it. It's not a today thing. It's a tomorrow thing with the Raiders, bro. That's really what it is.
Yes, Jack Kennett, I believe that Kubiak would have came to the Raiders without Mendoza, because he came to the Raiders without Mendoza. Mendoza wasn't here when he got here. He had to draft him. So had Mendoza went out there and laid a fucking goose egg in at his pro day, Kubiak would have already signed the contract. So yes, I believe he would have came without Mendoza, because that's exactly what he did. He didn't come here because we had Mendoza. And he didn't come here because we had a shot at Mendoza. In all honesty, I don't think Mendoza has anything to do with him taking the job.
I don't know, man. A lot of head coaches, that them having their own choice at quarterback, usually weighs heavy on what job they take. I think that's the reason why Ben Johnson took the Bears job that year over our job, because we had fucking Geno Smith or Gardner Minshew, and they had fucking number 1 overall pick and got Caleb Williams. So I hear what you're saying, but I also think that at the same time, quarterback can really dictate if you get a good coach or not, bro. A good coach don't want to come in here and fuck his record up with, a bad quarterback, because like I said before, wins and losses, they own that stat, the wins and losses stat only go against quarterbacks and head coaches, bro. They don't go against nobody else. So head coaches sometimes are a little bit, worried about, taking suspect jobs. So I see what they're saying in terms of, Mendoza. If we didn't get Mendoza, would he be here? I understand, but I couldn't answer that question because we got Mendoza.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm just answering from the standpoint of we didn't have Mendoza when we signed Kubiak, right? We didn't have Mendoza when we signed Kubiak. And in all honesty, I don't think it really has anything to do with the fact that we had the number 1 overall pick. I don't. I feel like it's more the fact that he was given a golden opportunity to come in here and make history and be able. He was given a chance to be a head coach. Yeah, and I understand there were other teams after him, right? But still, those teams like the Cardinals. The Cardinals wanted him. Cardinals had a high draft pick. It wasn't number 1 overall, but they had a high draft pick. And if he went there, he could have asked the Raiders to trade, because another coach might have came in and been like, "No, I don't want Mendoza. I got to start my team somewhere else." You know what I mean? I got to start at a different position. Quarterback would be nice, or maybe they do take Mendoza. I don't know, but I think if another coach comes in and takes Mendoza, maybe he plays him. Who knows? But as I understand, Tom Brady is the one that's saying the kid can't play right now. He's going to have to sit and wait. You have to listen to the owner of the team. If the owner of the team says, I don't want him out there right now, he's not going to be out there. And it don't matter how hard the coach fight for it. If the owner of the team says, I want him to sit and learn and be the future of my franchise next year, then that's what's going to happen. That's just what's going to happen. and I really don't. I don't like this quarterback situation, bro. I really don't like this quarterback situation because if you don't have any plans to play Fernando, that means I have to go through the season with Kirk Cousins and Aiden O'Connell.
So you think if Kirk Cousins goes down, Aiden O'Connell's the guy?
Yep.
Oh no.
If you're going to stick to you're not playing Fernando this year, who's going to be the backup?
I don't think it's not that they're not going to play Fernando. They just don't want to play Fernando. If they're forced to play Fernando, I think Fernando gets a nod before Aiden gets a nod.
You would have to. But then again, like I said, they literally said he was not going to play this year. He was going to sit and learn for a year.
Well, I mean, that's obviously going to be the plan. But if somebody gets injured, plans change. I feel like he's going to have to play.
That. I fully understand you.
If they go out there and let Aiden play, if Kirk goes down, then I'm really going to second guess the pick. If Kirk goes down, and they let Aiden go out there and Fernando don't play, I'm really going to start second guessing it.
Look, I really want Kirk to go out there and play well. I would like for Kirk to not get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt in the silver and black. I don't. Right? But as it was stated just a second ago, who said it? Who said it? Somebody right here. Alfredo said it. If it's week 4 that Kirk goes down, it's probably going to be AOC. Right? Because that's not enough. It's still not enough time for Fernando to get out there and truly learn. Like I said, the kid has all the makings of being something good. Right? But it's not there yet. You know what I mean? It's like making pizza dough. If you don't let all the ingredients get in and mix up and let it sit and let the dough rise, that pizza gonna be shitty as fuck.
Type shit.
That's gonna be some nasty ass pizza. And that's just. Bro, I
feel like there is a lot of ingredients missing in this recipe that Kubiak wants to cook up for sure. Like he's got obviously Clint's the chef, but there's some missing pieces, bro. And that's another reason why I'm not putting everything on what the Raiders do this year, bro, because we still need a true number 1 receiver. There's major questions on the right side of the offensive line, primarily right tackle. Clint Kubiak was asked after the game, what's the battle with Rodgers and JPJ, and they asked him, did JPJ do enough to solidify himself as a starter, and Clint Kubiak still refuses to say anything. So we're not going to know who won that battle until going into week 1 against Miami. That's something to keep our eyes out on. But the point I'm trying to make is, then you go over the defense. There's a lot of things to be desired, bro. Like we're missing a true interior defensive lineman, nose tackle. We're extremely limited at linebacker in terms of depth. We really don't have a number 2 corner. Eric Stokes is decent as a number 1, but we don't have anybody opposite him. And then, you look at the strong safety position, and as much as I like Jeremy Chin, I mean, is he really, the end all be all for the Raiders at safety? So there's a lot of questions to be asked, but I do like where the Raiders are going. I definitely like the way they're going for sure. So
I can see where they want to go. I'm not quite sure that's where they're headed yet. You know what I mean? But I would, if they're headed in the direction that I would like for them to go, then great, wonderful, cool. Hey Jack, no disrespect, man. I am sick of hearing about this under the center shit.
Yeah, he ain't never playing under center.
Look,
you talking about Fernando?
Yeah, I get it. Okay. But at the same time, this kid has had 4.5 months to learn how to take a fucking snap from under center. So if he hasn't learned in 4 months, fuck makes you think he's gonna learn by week 1? Which is 2 weeks away.
I mean, this is gonna be a process with him for sure, bro. I'm not expecting Fernando Mendoza to learn how to play under center and be, a legitimate factor in year 1.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, right now, Raider Paul, he's a fucking backup.
Dude, Raider Paul's a fucking clown, dude. Mendoza's his fucking guy, bro. He was sucking Mendoza's dick all off season, bro. And now he's the backup. Hey, Mendoza, hey, Paul, I thought you were so right, bro. Oh, Mendoza's him. Now he's the backup, dude. Like, fuck out of here. Your dumbass troll comments. Sometimes, bro, your troll comments are fucking retarded. We all know you're the biggest fucking Mendoza dick sucker in Raider Nation, bro. Stop playing both sides of the fucking fence.
The Raiders just need to address like 3 key pieces next season, bro. 3 key pieces next year. You need to get a solidified. You need to solidify the line. You need to truly solidify the line. You went out, you got Linderbaum. It might be time for you to replace Colton Miller. You definitely need to get you a right tackle.
Colton Miller looked good tonight, bro. They ran that pitch play, a couple outside zone running plays, dude, and Colton Miller looked really good in space. No, he did. He did pull though. He pulled. He
missed that block. He missed
the block on a screen on Michael Mayer, but in the run game, he looked good. They ran that pitch play to Mike Washington in space.
Yeah, but he can't get out on the edge for the screen.
It is only one. I mean, it's one play against one play, but I don't want to say we need a new left tackle, bro, because left tackles are hard to find, bro. Like I feel like we have the same argument with Colt Miller every year, bro. We're not gonna find another Colt Miller fucking growing on a tree somewhere, bro.
Like that dude is legit. It might be time to look for his replacement.
It ain't gonna be Charles Grant because Charles Grant got shit all over tonight, dude.
He got shitted all over.
Charles Grant looked bad for those first couple of games where he looked good. He looked bad tonight, bro. And he almost got Fernando Mendoza hurt tonight.
We all know Colton Miller has not finished the season in the last 4 seasons. That's cause for concern. What up, Captain Point? So who wasn't healthy last season? Who wasn't healthy? Who am I giving a break to? I'm tired of giving breaks. You guys want me to be easy on these players, bro. Why? Losing ain't easy to watch. So why should I take it easy on motherfuckers who make it hard for me every goddamn weekend? Every weekend? Every Sunday? You want me to take it easy on motherfuckers making millions and millions of dollars that make it hard for me every Sunday?
Hell no. I don't feel bad for no multi-millionaire, bro. At all. I thought the defense looked good tonight too, bro. I thought the secondary played a lot better. Shout out to Patrick Johnson, who I think solidified his roster spot tonight. I mean, he opened the game with a big hit on special teams. I'm like, okay. I mean, Patrick Johnson's a veteran too. Patrick Johnson's been around the league a little bit, so excited for him.
I just don't see a world where that kid starts. Like, I can see where he starts maybe late in the season, week 14, 15, maybe. But would he be starting because we're bad? And if we're bad, do you really want to put him out there?
Hell no.
I would rather just go with AOC. If I'm out of it, I have no chance of actually winning.
Oh, hell no. I'm putting in Fernando if I ain't got nothing else to win. I'm not putting in Aiden O'Connell.
I'm saying, but if your offensive line ain't holding up,
I don't care.
And he just taking massive hits, why would you do that? That's not helping.
I mean, if it's like a 55+ sack season offensive line, then I get what you're saying. But if it's not that, then he's got to play. There's no way you don't put Fernando Mendoza in there if the season goes bad and put Aiden O'Connell over him. Like I said, unless like you said, bro, it's a 55+ sack season offensive line like last year. And if that's the case, bro, the Raiders got bigger fish to fry because we brought in, a Super Bowl winning, multiple Super Bowl winning offensive line coach that, has history with our head coach. And if this don't work out, bro, I don't know if you can bring in anybody else and get better up front at least. I mean, we got a really good offensive line coach. So obviously, it's
saying,
just
Frank.
paper.
You
It's
can't
just
put
paper.
the kid out there to be sacrificed, bro. You can't do that. You just can't. It makes no sense to do that. So my whole thing is, if the kid's not starting when you have an actual real fighting chance because he didn't earn that spot, that tells me he's not ready. You guys didn't develop something properly because he's not ready, but you took him number 1 overall like he was the best and greatest thing in the draft. Why?
That's the biggest question, bro.
That's the biggest question. Why did you take him number 1 overall if you knew you weren't going to play him and you had other positions of need that you needed to fill, that you did not fill in free agency? So why did you take him number 1 overall if you didn't have any plans on actually playing him this year? Look, had they never said that they were not going to play him, I would have supported Fernando. I would have felt like the kid had a real, genuine shot at being the starting quarterback. But because of that statement, because you said what you said, and you've been saying the same thing over and over and over again, am I supposed to believe something else? I don't have any proof that what you're telling me is a lie. So I have to believe what you're saying and I have to take it at face value. Now, we know Tom Brady lies when it's good for him, but he also likes to tell truth, right? He finally admitted it was a fumble, but that wasn't his call. He don't have the black and white stripes on. He don't have the cap. He don't have the penalty flags to throw. He ain't got no whistle.
Yep, that's why I don't have the hate for Tom Brady. A lot of Raider fans have. It's not like it was his fault. They called that shit on the Raiders.
I've never blamed Tom Brady for that call.
Never. Our Raider fans do, bro. So we don't think. I mean, I get it. It's an emotional part. It was an emotional game, but
yeah,
it wasn't his fault, bro. Like
it's not. Yeah, that's not his fault.
It's not the Patriots organization's fault either. I get it. We take it personal and shit, but we all know, bro. The NFL hates the Raiders. I mean, we can go back and look at the immaculate deception before that. Like, we know the NFL hates us, bro. To sit here and be like, oh, well, it's the Patriots' fault or it's Tom Brady's fault, bro. Fuck that, dude. That's not what it is. It's just the NFL hates us, bro. Ever since Al Davis sued the league and won that fucking lawsuit, bro, they've hated us ever since, bro. And they're going to find any way they can to fuck us over. And in my opinion, our only hope to get out of that shit is Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is the golden child of the National Football League. The NFL loves him. Rather he's a quarterback coaching, or not coaching, but being in the booth, or an owner, they're gonna cherish the ground that man walks on. So, maybe it starts with Brady with the tuck rule shit, which it really didn't, but that kind of was the downfall of our team, and maybe it'll end with him. Once again, my number one saying, I'm gonna keep saying it, only time will tell, bro. We're year one of a multi-year process with the Raiders. So it's just year one.
My opinion. I know you're not talking to me. I know you're saying some people have never even seen that play, to be honest. And you're probably right. I seen the play. And I could tell you exactly what happened and why I will remember this day for forever. We get the ball. I'm happy as joy because we about to go to the Super Bowl. I felt like it was our year, right? And then you see the fumble. You see him reverse the play and call it a fumble, right? Or incomplete pass. They said it's not a fumble, that it was an incomplete pass. They called it the motherfucking tuck rule. Some shit we had never even heard of before this, right? I broke my cousin's TV.
Type shit.
I literally, bro, I had a can of beer in my hand that I was just getting ready to open and celebrate, and I chucked that shit and broke my cousin's screen.
Tough.
And had to go buy him a new TV the same fucking day.
Tough.
Right? Because we were gonna play Madden. You know,
hell yeah. Always sell it out in the game of Madden.
Every night, bro. We played video games and smoke weed, bro. That's what we did every night, bro. Me and my cousin. We played fucking baseball, basketball, fucking Madden, hockey, whatever. You know what I mean? Just sports games. That's all we played.
Dirty, you got Twan backstage game.
Oh, I do. I didn't even see my brother. Hold on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the one that I'm like, right, Twan. What up, Twan?
What you
doing? You know, I don't disturb the cook when he's cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Type shit. I feel you. Respectable.
Hey, blessings, man.
Saludos.
Oh, back then, J-Dog TVs didn't cost that much. They didn't have like no, they did.
Shit, when I grew up, TVs was expensive as piss. Remember when TV repair shops were a thing, bro? Like now TVs are hella cheap, bro. The TVs used to be so expensive, dude. If you got a flat screen, that bitch broke, you had to go to a TV repairman because you didn't want to buy a new one.
Nah, man. I think I went to Costco and got him a new TV. You know what I mean? He needed a new TV anyway. You know what I mean? The TV I bought him was better than the one he had. You know what I mean?
Funny story, bro. Talking about TV. So when flat screens, you know, really became a thing, what was it, like mid 2000s, somewhere around there, they became a real thing. And you know, even the little, like the 30 inches, 35 inches, they were expensive, you know, $600-700 for an LED plasma fucking flat screen, right? So I know my homie, right, and his uncle, they went shopping at Walmart or one night or whatever. And there's a dude in the parking lot and was like, hey, bruh, I got this flat screen TV for you. He's like, I'll take it. He's like, give me $200, you can have it. You feel me? So my boy's uncle buys the TV, right? And gets back to the crib, unboxes that shit, and it was an oven door, gang.
Yep. Yep.
Bro, I remember when he told me that shit, bro, I couldn't stop laughing. I felt hella bad, but it was so funny, bro. Yep, why you don't buy shit from crackheads, gang?
I had a homie buy an Xbox, nigga, and when he got it home, it was a half bag of cement.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Half bag of cement.
I've heard the story that someone bought a flat screen TV and brought it home, and it was a box of bricks.
Yep. Seen people do that. Yeah. Like, bro, one motherfucker opened a box and it was just cardboard. It was just heavy cardboard on the inside.
Bro,
it wasn't nothing else.
Bro, they used to scam this store. They used to scam this store down the street from me, right? What they would do is they would take in quarter rolls, right? Like a roll of quarters. But it would be a quarter on the outside and a quarter on the other side, and a bunch of washers in the middle of that bitch. They was drain that shit in.
Bro, you think that's bad? At least there was metal on that. Man, we used to take the motherfucking roll of quarters, put motherfucking 50 cent on one side, fucking stuff it with some sand, and put 50 cent on the other side, and roll them. Right, you know what I mean? Like, roll them up closed, so it feel like it's $10. You trade that bitch in, and they go like, crack it at the store to make change. Nothing but sand.
They gonna make change. They only just gonna have two quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing but sand on the inside and $1.
That shit is tough.
That's a sand dollar.
Mm-hmm. That's type shit. That's a $10.
Hey, look, every time that I've had somebody hit me up to buy something, like in a parking lot or something, I open the box right then and there. Show me what's in the box before I hand you over the cash, bro.
Bro,
If you fight me real hard on opening the box, then I know you trying to scam me. Move on. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. Move on to the next. Go get the next person, bro. But you ain't about to get me. I gotta see the product before you give me before I give you my money, man. I gotta see the product.
There's a lot of gypsies too. Them gypsies be scamming the fuck out motherfuckers, dog. There's hella gypsies.
But let's get back to the game, man. Let's get back to the game. So people are asking, what did we think about Jamad McCoy? Right? I felt like he had an okay game. It's not like he had a great game, right? I don't think any of the DBs really had a great game. I feel like the starting defense played pretty well. And it wasn't even all the starters. It was just what we had out there, right? I don't recall seeing the Kobe Dean play. I don't recall seeing Quay Walker play. I know for a fact I didn't see Max Crosby play. So
no, Max Crosby didn't play for sure.
No, I know Max didn't play.
Excuse me.
So I mean, even for like a couple of our starters to not be out there, I felt like the first defense that took the field was fairly decent. It was definitely better than what we've been seeing. So I feel like they're making strides to actually get better and catch up. I feel like they're starting to learn a little bit more. And really throughout the day, I think the defense actually did pretty well because they didn't give up any touchdowns. It was all field goals. Even when they got down into the red zone, we didn't let them in the end zone. The only time they got in the end zone was called back on a penalty because they had to do some faulty shit to get there. So I'm not saying that the defense was great, but it's definitely been better than what we've seen in the past two preseason games.
The run defense still looks like shit, gang. I'm not gonna lie. We still can't stop the fucking run.
I was gonna say that, Ben.
I think the first string defense and the second string defense is okay. I think they're going to do what they need to do. I think it's once you get past the second string, I think that's where the issues really become a big issue, and it's really at linebacker. We are so fucking weak at linebacker, bro. These dudes can't tackle.
And Dirty,
at least not behind the line.
And Dirty, I think that is a blessing and a curse, right? If you really look at the totality of who's going to be on our 53, it's going to be our first and second guys that are actually making the roster. So whoever you thought was good in the first and second, and you thought that was going to be okay, well, those are going to be our guys that we're going to rely on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Sunday to Sunday basis. Now the guys that like you said, the back end, the third guys, those guys ain't gonna make the roster. There might be maybe one, maybe two guys that get plucked from the third squad, but outside of that, everybody first and second squad, they're pretty much on the roster. That's why, you know what I'm saying, because I was listening to you guys a little bit when you guys were talking about Mendoza, like I that's why I can't give him a pass, because I don't care if he's not out there with the ones. He was out there with the twos, and because he was out there with the twos, those are going to be guys that we're going to rely on a Sunday to Sunday. So if he can't function with the guys that we're going to be counting on a Sunday to Sunday, then yeah, there's more alarm to it than not. Like, I've heard a lot of people try to give him that pass, like, oh, he needs to play with the ones. Oh, we need to wait until we see him with the ones. No, he got his opportunity to play with the NFL guys that he's going to count on in week 14, week 13, and week 15. Because remember, when you get later on into the week, the twos are actually going to be our starters, because somebody in our ones is going to get hurt, and somebody in our twos is going to have to step up. So if he can't function with our twos, then there's more issues than not.
We got. I just think that second and third offensive line group is just so bad. Like I just think it's really hard to judge Fernando. Mainly, like I get it, like the guys that are catching the ball and shit, but there's no that they might be there at some point. Maybe a lineman, maybe one lineman. If you lose multiple starting linemen in the season and you go later in the year, you're probably not going to be very good anyways. But I hear your argument with like the guys that are going to catch the footballs and the running backs and shit like that. But he's playing behind like probably one of the worst fucking second string offensive linemen. This offensive line talent wise is so bad it looks like last year's offensive line. Like that shit is bad, and I don't know what the deal is with playing. What's that fucking sorry ass guards, that center name? I forget his name, bro. He was our center last year. He's fucking terrible, bro.
Meredith?
Like Meredith, bro. Like, why is he even on our fucking team, dude? Like he gets Fernando destroyed every single time, bro. The worst pressure for a quarterback is pressure in his face. And every single game, it's pressure right up the middle, bro. And it's hard for a quarterback to make his read when he's getting pressured right in his fucking grill every single time. But
I think also defensively, like, because you guys were talking about defense, and I know I kind of jumped back.
No, you're good, bro. You're straight.
But defensively, like, I agree with you, Ben. Like, and I also do agree with you, Dirty. Like, I think both of those things can be true. Like, yeah, we didn't allow them to score any touchdowns, which is what you want your defense to do. If you can get, I'm saying, obviously we don't want anybody to score, I'm saying, if we're playing defense. But if a real good defense will be like, okay, I'll let you have this 3 because I'm trusting that my offense will put up 7. I'm saying, and 7 any day is better than 3, right? Mm-hmm. So the part that we were able to a competent system, because remember, we're not necessarily the guys that were on the field, but again, the Niners is a system. Their system, they didn't score any touchdowns on us, so that was a positive. But when you look at the numbers, I'm saying, and this is where Ben was talking about, and I agree with it. Like, yeah, we didn't really stop the run. Like, there was I forgot at one point they were saying like Keelan Black or whatever. And that was a guy that I wanted at running back that they drafted, in the most recent draft. I think he was getting like 7 yards a carry, you know what I'm saying? And then the other guy that they had, the other running back that they had was like at 5 yards a carry. So I need those numbers to come down, you know what I'm saying, in the run game. And
they came down honestly, when Sincere McCormick came in the game.
Yeah, because that was Sincere McCormick, and Sincere McCormick was what, they third, maybe 4th running back. You know what I'm saying, that they trotted out there. So he's 4th, 5th string. Yeah. So but we definitely and this is what I struggle with, and you guys might have to help me on this. Is the stopping the run? Is it because our players are not trying to do it? Or it's just that we just ain't got the personnel to get the job done?
I don't know if it's they're not trying to preach too much physicality in the preseason because they're trying to avoid injury. You know what I mean? That's kind of it too. Like maybe they don't really want to get in there and them scrums trying to drag running back. At least that's what I hope it is, bro. Because I mean, the Raiders low key were decent against the run last year, bro. We were I think top, 16 or so against the run. We were decent. It was the pass a little bit where we struggled in getting off the field on third downs. But stopping the run is a mindset. Stopping the run and running the ball is a mindset. It's a physicality mindset. You either got it or you don't. I think offensively in the trenches, I think we got the mindset that we're going to be able to run the ball. We're going to push people out of the way. I think that's a given. But defensively, I just don't know if we got the bodies, bro. I don't know if we got enough big men. And there's a lot of big guys in the NFL, bro. Like these guys are all, I don't know if we got enough big guys in the middle that we're going to be able to consistently stop the run this year, bro. Like Adam Butler's little in the grand scheme of a defensive tackle. He's undersized. Tonka Hemingway is like our one guy, but then you look at him, look at everybody else, right? Jonah Lalawulu, he's a little bit undersized. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have the bodies, bro, is the point I'm trying to make. We don't have the bodies, in my opinion, to to stop the run on a consistent basis in the National Football League. We got a lot of guys that can rush the passer, but can't truly, get down and dirty in the run game. So that's just my opinion.
I hear you on that, but the Bird twins, the Bird
is the word. I said the bird is the word.
They're not small.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They're not small guys, bro. But what they don't have is tackling talent. They do not have bro. You know how many missed tackles they had today in the backfield? TFLs. You know how many missed TFLs today? At least 8 or 9. At least 8 or 9 TFLs were missed today, just by the linebackers alone. The tackling of our 3rd, 4th string linebackers is atrocious, bro. Everybody's out here looking to make the big stick to put on film so that they can see, so the coach can be like, ooh, big hit. Versus the guy who's just going out there and making the simple basic tackle. So you got one highlight of a big hit, and he got 9 highlights of tackles that he made just because he did this. He did what he was supposed to do the right way.
Mm.
So I feel like it's not that we're short on stature. I think it's short on actual commitment to tackling, bro.
Been a long time issue, Dirty. It's how many coaches that we've been through, bro, and we've had a tackling concern. Many coach in, coach out. It's always been the Raiders can't tackle. I don't know what it is. We just don't teach tackling for whatever reason, bro. But
you can only tell a player so much, bro. I've had this in Pop Warner. I've had this in high school, bro. You could teach a person to tackle. Doesn't mean they're actually going to fucking do it.
No, I feel you. I hear you.
We spend the whole off season teaching kids how to tackle.
Physicality is a mindset.
They can't do it.
It's being physical, bro. If you're not physical, you're not gonna want to tackle.
But
some like our linebackers, they're like deers in headlights, bro. They freeze. Instead of committing to the tackle, they stop. They hesitate.
And it goes like this. Like we've seen like periods and flashes throughout the season, like, oh yeah, we tackling well, and then all of a sudden, like the next game, it just seemed like they completely forgot how to tackle. It's like, what the
exactly?
Like, we just saw you tackling good last week, and then now you can't tackle. Like, what is it?
And you know what's crazy, bro, is we literally just had a conversation the other night about being a Raider fan is a roller coaster ride, and you pretty much hit the nail on it right there, bro. Like, 1 week we can do everything right, and we look like, we're going to compete. Like, okay, this Raider team might do something. And then the next week against a team that has 2 wins through 13 weeks, we look like the absolute opposite. It's just it's a Raider thing, bro. We play up and down to our competition, and it's low-key embarrassing, bro. It truly is. I don't know why we do that. We just do that.
Hey, John Raider, Monday morning, we will have the conversation of cuts on Monday morning. I will be in at 9 a.m. Monday morning. No, maybe 10 a.m. Monday morning. I'm going to come in 10 a.m. Monday morning, do a live. We'll talk about, all those that were cut and what players are available for the Raiders to go after. I believe the cuts come out Sunday, and then the waivers is Monday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, cuts are Sunday.
Cuts are Sunday, waivers are Monday.
That's probably the most exciting part for me is the who can we get from another team, especially because we are in a position where we get first dibs on whoever. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be just like we swung hard and got Tyler Linderbaum, who was the biggest fish in free agency. We need to do the same thing with these waivers, is get the biggest fish, whoever it is, because I can almost guarantee you that whoever that big fish is in waivers, we're going to need that player on this roster.
Raider Nation 510 says, really hope we can get Dante Thornton back and he survived roster cuts because we desperately need his size and speed on offense. Raider Nation 510, I feel you, man. Definitely need the speed, definitely need the size, right? But got to look at it like this. You haven't seen Dante Thornton at all this preseason. I really don't know what the chances are that the kid makes the roster because he hasn't been in camp performing. He's been there, but he's been in street clothes the whole time. I mean, so even if Dante Thornton makes this roster, it'll have to be on IR, bro. You cannot give him an active roster spot for somebody who went all through camp and proved that they're physical and available to play. So if Thornton makes this team, bro, it has to be through IR.
And also ask yourself this question: what has Dante Thornton done in the NFL that shows you enough that he is worthy of making the roster? Don't go off of his college tape. What has he done in the NFL that would make him worthy of a roster spot at this point?
All right, Dirty, I got to go to work in the morning, bro. Twan, shout out to you, bro. Nice seeing you again, my brother.
Always
Dirty,
good,
much love. Always a pleasure, man. Chat like y'all boys. I might be live tomorrow. We'll see. I'll check my schedule and shit. But if not, like y'all boys, man. Peace out. You guys take care of one another. I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace out. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know what the odds of Thornton making the team as an active roster right now. I think if he makes the team, it has to be through IR. J Money 209. I heard Raider owner owns the number one pick on the waiver wire. Yeah, because we have the number one pick in the draft. We have the number one choice on the waiver wire. So if somebody really, really good comes out, gets cut, and gets, or somebody comes out and gets waived, and that's really, really good, we have first rights at that. So that could help us out a lot. And that goes for every player, you know what I mean, that gets released.
Yeah.
Once we claim one, it starts to go down the line from there. So the next player, you know what I mean, it'll start with whoever had number 2. And if he clears through all those teams, we can come back and get him. So should have kept Lakatasi. I don't know if that's the right. I don't know if keeping Lakatasi Jack Kenny would have made any difference, bro. From all my understanding, he just was not working out where we had him, bro. There's certain things they needed him to do that he could not do. So as much as you might want to keep him for the field. See, and I say this to fans, man, and I try to be as nice as possible and respectful as possible, bro. Stop asking for players to stay here for a goddamn feel-good story, bro. Take your ass to Disneyland if you want a feel-good story. Go to the Magic Kingdom and walk around with the fairy tale creatures if you want a fucking happy, feel-good, go get them fucking story on your goddamn team. This is not a fucking charity. This is football. I don't need no soft-ass, feel-good story on my goddamn team. I need you to come out here and perform.
That's
I'm not trying to keep you around because you played rugby and bro, this guy has never played a lick of football in his life until 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell me that he's really good? No, bro. He's a development.
And most of those guys, and I'll say this to your because I agree with you, Dirty. I'm tired of the stories, but I think that's what losing franchises do is they go after the story because the story is going to, add a jersey sale or add a ticket purchase, or that there's some money involved with that story, right? I love Tokyo Toe, let me buy his jersey, even though we know that he's not even going to make the roster. You know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But these IPP guys, they are raw. They are rough around the edges. But even in that, there's some guys within the IPP that are like, okay, this guy can actually possibly crack the roster. You know what I'm saying? This is not, oh, we got to develop him or whatever. Like, no, this is a guy that can possibly crack the roster. And a lot of teams are doing that. A lot of the teams that are getting these IPP guys and actually they're being successful, it's because they identified those guys and said, hey, this guy can possibly crack the roster. And unfortunately, Lakitasi could not crack the roster for whatever reason that may be. Whether they were trying to look at him to be an offensive guy or whether they decided for him to be a defensive guy, and then they decided to get rid of him to go get Tokyo Toe, and the jury has shown that Tokyo Toe has no toe. So what are we doing with IPP? John Spytek, what are we doing?
I'm not a fan of this. I'm just being honest. I'm not a fan of the international player thing, bro. I'm not. I don't feel like a player should get a roster spot just because. If there's a player that gets cut that's better than that player, is it fair that this dude gets to stay on the roster because he's an international player? And then there's another player that's better than him that got cut, but he gets to stay on the team because he's an international player. Is that fair?
I mean, technically the number doesn't count, but I get the aspect of there is a player that is getting cut and this person gets to stick around just because they're on the IPP. But yeah, we need to my concern with the IPP program for us is that we need to be looking at, we need to be getting a little more high quality out of the, even though it is bottom of the barrel, of players, because obviously most of them that do come through this program are completely raw, but we need to be really looking at what this person has and before we even decide that we want to coach them up. Because I really think, you know what I'm saying, I think Lakitasi possibly could have worked, but when you have a situation where you're trying to, flip him from here to there and do a bunch of stuff, then yeah, you're going to mess up a guy that is completely raw. You can't make him be an offensive guy and then all of a sudden make him a defensive guy and then change defensive schemes in between that too. Because remember, Lakitasi was not with, this is a whole different scheme from what Lakitasi came in to do.
Yeah. Well, he came in to play defense. They ended up putting him on offense, and then they tried to transfer him back to defense. I told you that wasn't going to work out. You already ruined his development when you switched him to the other side of the ball for a whole year. And then you want to try to, you just spent a whole year trying to get him out of the defense of way that he played, you know what I mean, for 1 year. And then you want to try and bring him back, and for a player that has never played, bro, you're like, that's asking a lot, man. It's really asking a lot. And if the Raiders were so high on him, they would have kept him. Since he doesn't count against the roster, they didn't have to waive him to bring in somebody else if he doesn't count against the roster. Right? If what you guys are saying, he doesn't count against the roster, you could have kept him. Wouldn't it have made sense for the Raiders just to have kept him then? If he was something that they needed. Wouldn't it have made sense just for them to keep him?
Yeah.
But they waived him to make room for somebody else to come into camp. And this is what I'm saying, and Team Hype TV do act like they're getting paid. Bro, you tuned in to watch somebody give an opinion. So if you think we're acting like we're the ones getting millions, I don't think you're taking what we're saying the right way. And none of us out here claiming that we can go out there and do any of the things that they're doing. But what I will say is there are people in places making terrible decisions. And there's people in places making good decisions. We're just talking about things that we don't see that we want to see. People want to see Dante Thornton, but they don't. Why? Because he's hurt. And he's not going to get an active roster spot when you haven't shown that you deserve active roster. Bro, for me, Tucker is ahead of him. Naylor is ahead of him. Benson is ahead of him. Besh is ahead of him. Fucking Cedric Jackson is ahead of him. Why? Because all of these people have come out and performed. All these people have come out and practiced. All these people have come out and learned the playbook. All of these people are available to suit up and play. Dante Thornton is not. It would kill the morale. I know if it was me, I'd have a problem with it in the locker room, bro. I'd ask a nigga too, why are you on the team, bro? You ain't doing shit.
He this year, I mean, this offseason, we all were talking about, okay, this is the time that Dante Thornton needs to prove himself. This is the time that he needs to make a name. Same thing we were saying about Jack Besh. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're high on him or low on Jack Besh, that was the same thing we said about Jack Besh. We threw Jack Besh and Dante Thornton in the same bus. We said we need both of those guys to make their names known to these new head coaches so that they can have their opportunity. Guess who was on the field? And guess who was not on the field? And the person that's not on the field, how is that person going to be able to show somebody what they can do if he's not on the field? So that's why Dante Thornton is in the situation that he's in, and that's why most of us are saying if they want to save face for Dante Thornton, they're going to put him on IR, so that, again, putting him on ice for another year so that he can be able to come and be ready and have another shot in the next offseason. The next preseason of camp, he can show his worth. Because, again, he's still on rookie contract. We still got him under a rookie contract. But until then, yeah. Prove yourself or you can go.
Laki Tassi did something in preseason 2 years ago. Last preseason, he was on the offensive line. He wasn't on the defensive line last offseason. He was on the offensive line last offseason. Right? And the year before that, he was on the defensive line. And then they tried to bring him back to the defensive line this year. So he's 2 years removed from doing anything well on defense. And Jack Kennedy, you're right. You can't teach 6'6", 373. That's why they let him go, because they couldn't teach him what they needed him to learn. So, yeah, in actuality, I mean, your statement is correct. You can't teach 6'6", 373 if they release you. They were obviously having a problem teaching you. So, they got a good look at him by now. They've had to. They definitely had to. Raider Nation 510, they really thought we getting Vita Vea felt like a luring tactic, cutting Tassi. I think we cut Laki Tassi for Johnson, right? If I'm not mistaken. The kid who had a hell of a game today on defense.
I believe
Ben Johnson or something like I don't want to say Ben Johnson, but I think Ben Johnson is the head coach down in Chicago.
It was a corresponding move.
It was a corresponding move, and I think he was the player that we brought in, and he wrecked shop today. You know what I mean? He wrecked shop today. When they turn on the film tomorrow, they're gonna see him all over the place on defense, man. He did his thing today. So yeah, I think cutting Tassi was just Rob Leonard has worked miracles with defensive linemen, bro. He has gotten some defensive linemen that played really, really well, bro. He's gotten some to show up in moments, you know. But I feel like if he gave up on Lasitasi, he gave up for a reason, man. That's all I'm saying. It, did he get picked up somewhere else? I think he did. I'm not saying he didn't. I think he got picked up somewhere else. But are you hearing anything about him? Sometimes you got to cut dead weight. The feel good story is not always going to be a happy ending. You know, the feel good story is not always going to be a happy ending. For the most part,
yeah.
For the most part, for today's game, man, I feel like the Raiders went out there and they gave effort. It wasn't pretty. They didn't capitalize on all the things that they should have capitalized on. But the one thing that I see different about this team is the will to fight, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody is at least making their way to the ball, even if they're not getting there. Everybody's flying towards the ball. You know what I mean? Everybody's giving maximum effort on every play. You're not seeing people standing around with their hands on their hips. You're not seeing people standing around just lollygagging, doing nothing. So, like, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of the players as in the form of I feel like this team eventually will be something really good. I can't say it's going to be anytime in the immediate future, but if this team continues on the path of trying to build its cohesiveness, build its base, and then just kind of add on top of that base with like depth players is what I mean by adding on top of the base, because your starters are your base, right? And then you have depth pieces that add on top of that make your team solid, right? Your starters that make your team good. Your depth chart makes your team solid. So I think if the Raiders continue to just build a wonderful base foundation, and then they start adding some pieces on top of that to back them up, they'll be a really good football team in the next 2 years. They will.
We weren't going to be able to create and really build out this team all in one off season. You know what I'm saying? I think Spike Tech could have did a little more, but I don't think he was going to be able to, you know what I'm saying, completely do a full, you know what I'm saying, flip of this roster. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys, and I've been saying this, and I may be the only one that believes this, but I think even the guys that will be donned on this 53-man roster, some of these guys are on there simply because we ain't got anybody for that fits Kubiak's system. So they're just there to be there. They're placeholders until we're able to really get the guys that our coordinators really want.
What were your highlights of the game, man? Give me 3 highlights of today's game that you were really proud of, man. What did you see that you were really proud of today?
I liked our O-line play. And when
first string O-line, right?
Yeah. I'm not talking about the scrubs with
make sure you state first string O-line.
I'm talking about the O-line that played with Kirk Cousins and played with Mendoza. You know what I'm saying? There was a moment that I guess they brought in like the real second O-line. Those guys were You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they look like they're rotational guys, and that's what obviously they're going to end up being is in rotation. You know what I'm saying? But the main core guys, I liked our O line. Um, I the run game is really going to be our bread and butter, and I don't think it's necessarily because our running backs are just so superly talented. I think it's just that the O line is opening up holes to where we're running respectfully. You know what I'm saying? And moving the chains. Obviously everybody's high on Mike Washington, but I was fairly pleased with our O line play. Um, our starters, I'll say, um, of our O line. Um, I got more concerns than actually what I got positives, but you said positives. Um, yeah, that's probably the biggest one that I have is our running backs and just our run game. I liked our. I'll say this: I like our play calls. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was one or two plays where I thought it was gonna be one thing, and it ended up being something else.
I like that
And
little play. I like that little dump play to Trey Tucker.
yes, that was one of them. And then I like this. You know what I'm saying? And I've been studying the Kubiak system and how he likes to have things be uniform. We saw a little bit of that because there was actually one play where it was a run play that actually hit well for us. I think it went for like 8 yards, and then we had that same look, and it was something else. Like it, and I thought, okay, we're just running the same run because obviously it worked well for us. Nah, it looked like the same run, and all the pieces looked like they crossed the same way and everything. But I forgot exactly who he passed it to, but it was actually a pass off of that same run formation. So I like that because again, you can trick guys, especially when you're running the ball, but you're also running it with
Oh, my fault. I guess you got to unmute your mic.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there. That's
Did
what I
you
was.
catch
I was
all
trying
the
to
other
take.
parts that I was talking about, or
No, I was trying to take the. I was trying to take the thing off. I was
oh
trying to take
okay,
the background off.
oh okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I liked. I like the scheme. You know what I'm saying, where the run game ties in with our play action and et cetera, because that can actually trick some guys too.
Yeah.
And that's preseason. That's not even that's what kind of gets me excited for the regular season because I know that there's some things in the playbook that we didn't. There was probably some stuff that they didn't. What I'm saying, even in the indoor facility that they didn't want to put on the outside. Um, what I'm saying, for media and et cetera to see. So I'm really excited for week one to see what else is going to be deployed offensively and defensively.
Yeah. For me, I would say highlights. First, starting offensive line. That was a highlight for me. I was I wasn't impressed, but I'm not disappointed either in what I see from our first string offense. Right. I'm
Right.
talking about the whole general offense, the concept behind it, the scheme, who they have there, offensive line, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, quarterback. I feel like they can actually go out there and get something done. What I need my offense to do, I need them to put up points, but I need them to be able to actually be out on the field for 5, 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes at a drives. I feel like they can put 6 minute drives, 7 minute drives together, right? On average, that's probably going to be anywhere from 15 to maybe 18 minutes of rest for the defense.
Right.
So, I mean, with all the commercial breaks and the timeouts and, all of this stuff, stepping out of bounds, stopping clocks, right? That gives, I feel like 7 minutes in the NFL is probably about 18, 19 minutes in real life. So that's a rest for the defense versus 3 and out, which is you have the ball for 45 seconds to a minute 15, and your defense gets 6 to 7 minutes of rest. Well, that's not enough. That's just not enough. Because I still got to go out there and play these minutes that haven't really ticked away yet. So I'm about to go out here and be on the field for 5-minute drives. That's taking 20 minutes, and I'm tired of shit now. So I really like the offense that I saw. I hope that, it's really going to be much more than what we saw. I feel like we just got a small little glimpse into what it is he wants to do and how he kind of wants to run his offense. So, I see some end arounds, I see some dump offs. I definitely see some runs up the middle. I see some runs to the outside. I'm happy with that. My next highlight, I would have to say, would be the starting defense. I don't think that they were bad.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? I feel like the starting defense actually played really good. I don't even think they started kicking field. I don't even think they got any real point. Like, they just kicked field goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our starting defense came out and made them go 3 and out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our starting defense came out and made them go 3 and out. So that I like that. And then I guess I would have to say my third highlight, I would have to say, man, I would have to say my defensive backs from the third string, third and fourth string DBs. Well, actually, I don't think there's no fourth string DB. I think it's third string only, second and third string, first, second, and third. And I think even some of the people on the second still play on the third string too.
That's like your Greedy Vances. That's your DCAMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they played terrible. I don't think they played bad at all. I think they did a really good job. When you can keep a team out of the end zone, even when they're in the red zone, I think you're doing your job.
Right.
And that's all I can ask you. If the offense can actually go up and put up points, because I don't think we're just going to be kicking field goals all day, right? So I feel like our first string can't actually go out and put up points. It ain't going to be every drive. But if they could stay on the field for 5 to 6 minutes a drive and at least get some points, eat up the clock, and our defense can go out there and, feel refreshed and actually be able to play and hold up against other teams, I think we have a good football team in the makings. So I was concerned about the defensive backs until today. I'm not as concerned as I was previous to tonight.
I agree with you, Dirty. I think our our secondary is young, and they're going to have their, and that was kind of one of the things and you were there when I said it, earlier on Lunatic Show. I wanted to see how these DBs would bounce. You know what I'm saying? Or how would they name themselves this week? You know what I'm saying? And I was talking about McCoy specifically, but just he had one bad week and then he looked good the next week, and then this week, I didn't see nothing too alarming from him to say anything bad about him. So, if it's something like that, then you can't. Then you got to say, yeah, the corners did their job. Now, did that offense hurt themselves in the foot a few times? Absolutely. But with you, even in those moments, you still are asked to, produce and execute on those third and longs and those second and longs that teams have, those offensive have put themselves in. So, and I think defensively, I think the only one that I was kind of mad about was the play at the end where I think it was like 3rd and 17, and they ran the ball and pretty much got the 17. You know what I'm saying? Or was close to the 17. I think, just running it on top of my head, but that was all. That was just tackling, and please wrap dude up. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop trying to hit stick guys, and you got 2 arms. Wrap around that dude.
Jack Kenny, I love you, man. I respect you, but you cannot think of this defense now played in the NFL as an 83 defense for the Raiders, bro. Back then, they were allowed to play dirty. They gave cheap shots. There was a lot of things taking place. Reasons why NFL changed rules. Right? Do you know the Raiders have the most ejected players in NFL history? Out of all the teams in the NFL, we have the most ejections from a game. So I get it. You want that, you would want to but let's be honest, bro. Defenses can't play like that anymore. They just can't. They can't give cheap shots when the dude comes by. Like, you can't play like that anymore. Those were hard, physical, tough, rough, cheating ass defenses. And I'm not complaining about it because I'm a fan. And it's how I grew up. And it's the style of defense that I grew up loving. But you can't do that anymore. So it's hard for you to ask for players of the calibers from like 83 that was able to do these types of things, you know what I mean, to compensate for where they may not have had a skill set. Now it's all skill set. If you don't have a skill set, you just don't have the skill set, and there's nothing you can do to make up for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like you as much as we would love to go back and see defenses played that way, the reality is it's never going to happen. So you're going to have to rely on getting players who have the real skill set to make these things happen.
And the game is more cerebral now. You know what I'm saying? These guys are, the guys that are actually really good in the league, they're film rats. You know what I'm saying? They're studying a whole lot of film. You know what I'm saying? They're not just going out there, I'm just going to beat this guy up. And there's an aspect of that, you know what I'm saying? Take the will of your opponent. But it's more of a mental chess game, you know what I'm saying? With a lot of the guys that we all in the league like, you know what I'm saying? All the top quarterbacks, they're studying film, they're diving, you know what I'm saying? As much as people hate Aaron Rodgers, the reason why Aaron Rodgers can still, hang around in this league is because he's He ain't got the sharpest ball like he used to have. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with our starting quarterback. Kirk Cousins don't got that arm like he had back in the day. But what still makes him look good is that he got it. You know what I'm saying? He's a film rat. He's diving into tape and looking at everything.
Yeah, well, you can't do rule number one anymore, Jack Kenneth. And because you can't do rule number one, rule number two don't exist either. You know, so I mean, you could thank those Raiders for the rules that we have in place now. Now, I'm not trying to bash them. I'm just being truthful. Those Raider teams are the reasons why we have the rules we have now.
We made the rules and we broke the rules.
We broke the rules so that they can make new ones.
To make the rules. Right.
We broke all the rules so they can make new ones that were unbreakable. And you can attempt to do it, but it's going to be a penalty to pay. A massive one.
And you know, I know you probably listen to this, Dirty, you know, but the NFL just came out with a new set of rules. You know what I'm saying? And they to the point that it's like rollover minutes. You can do 2 infractions this year, and then 3, you know, the next infraction in the next season, and you'll get dinged. So that's what this new rule is coming with. You know what I'm saying? If you hit the person wrong, or you tackle the person the wrong, you know, do the hip drop tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they ain't playing around with it.
Yeah, it's called the Burfict rule. If you commit 3 infractions, like they did Burfict, they will put you out the league. Because now they feel like you're purposely doing it. So there's a rule for it now. And they came up with the rules so they wouldn't lose a lawsuit. Business is shady. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, man, it has been a pleasure to have spent 2 hours with you guys tonight, man. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed weekend. Enjoy your Friday tomorrow. Enjoy your Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be hot, man. Get you some water. If you out here in SoCal, man, it's going to be hot. Get you some water. Get you some Pedialytes. You know what I mean? Get you some pickle juice. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? And cool out. Have a good time, man. Sunday is roster cuts. So we might do a Sunday night show. And then I'll definitely be back Monday morning, 10 a.m. to go over any acquisitions that we may acquire early in the morning. Twan, what you got anything for the people's, man?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting to see how this roster fills out. And you know, again, like I said, I'm excited to see what we bring in additional to really fill out this roster. I think, in my opinion, I think it's been very clear that even if it was a competition, I think the competition has been lost to, you know, by Mendoza. I don't think Mendoza is completely ready to be thrown out there, and that, you know, I think tape does not lie. You know, I know there's a channel that says tape don't lie, and they have a tendency to, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, Raider Twan on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, get active. You know what I'm saying? Just support, you know, what we're all trying to do, but support definitely what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to give you that Raider gospel throughout the season. So you definitely want to come over to Raider Twan and get that Raider gospel. Like I've said on plenty of other platforms, content creators, again, hit me up. I'm willing to work with all content creators. I mess with those who mess with me. And if you don't see me over there, it's because they obviously choose not to mess with me. And that's fine. Love you anyway. So Raider Twan on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And remember, your blessing be a blessing to someone else.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here till I'm not. You know what I mean? 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allowed us to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated. More than we could verbally express. If you're watching on Loaded Box, thank you. If you're watching on Raider Nation Network, thank you. If you're watching on Silver and Black Lounge, sure enough appreciate you. If you're watching on Natural Born Raiders podcast, appreciate you. If you're tuned in to the Spotify the next day, we appreciate you as well. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe. Well, you can subscribe if you want to. I'm about to change my tiers. I think I'm going to just do one tier, bro. One tier only, 99 cents. You know what I mean? And I'm still going to do the giveaway. So if we get to 50 members, I'll give away $25 every month. And as it goes up, as the membership goes up, I will continue to give away half of whatever the membership brings in every month. So somebody will have a chance to win half of the membership fees that are paid every month. And that's once we get to 50. So you'll get 25. Once we get to 60, you get 30, and so on and so on. You get to 200 members, you get $100. You know what I mean? We get to 5,000 members, that's 2,500 a month for you. You know what I mean? That's 2,500 a month that you would be eligible for. So, you know what I mean? Run it up. Let's have some fun. There'll be some other giveaways as well. I sure enough appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. We'll see you when we see you.